Hussbus bus stop. JP Hussey here, owner of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors, with this week's Hussbus bus stop. I got the Franklin hat from the Sixers game last night. Took my daughter Brooklyn to the game for her birthday. So I'm wearing a hat because it's actually kind of comfortable. But anyway, today we are going to talk a little bit about appraisals and what is going on in the world and kind of what it is. All right. So first off, what the is happening? I can tell you, free appraisals from one of our lenders, right? So anyway, let's just talk about what an appraisal is. An appraisal is an opinion of value, all right, on a home. If we're talking about purchases, okay, when you're buying a home, opinion of value, but there's a ton of data there. They're looking at what other homes like yours, they're trying to find homes just like yours, 3-bedroom, proximity, number of bathroom, whatever it is, right? And they're trying to find them what have sold as of late, right? Trying to get the most accurate, up-to-date data to see what your home would sell for, right? So that's a big part of what real estate agents do before you put an offer in to say, hey, this should appraise here, because that's a big part of it, all right? But let's talk about the process, all right? So when you go under contract with a home, all right, yes, you have to get all your ducks in a row with the finances, but let's talk about the money that you need up front usually, all right? So the money up front, you put an offer in. Usually you have to give what's called an earnest money deposit. You give that's held by the seller side in case you totally screw up, right? They can maybe keep your deposit, all right? So that makes sense. You got in good faith, hey, we're going to take this home off the market, give us a deposit, and that money goes towards your money at closing. So if you need $10,000 and you give $5 up front, all right, at the end, you only need $5 more, all right? It's always a credit. That's a big question people always ask, all right? The other thing you usually need up front, cash-wise, is an appraisal money, all right? We send you that link. It's a third party. It's totally random of who, excuse me, does your appraisal, so there's no funny business, okay? And that's usually between $495, $600, all right? So what we're doing until April 30th is we will give you, you have to pay for that, or we'll front it for you, whatever. You have to pay for the appraisal up front, but then at the end, you get all that money back. So free appraisals. That's a decent chunk of change when you're buying a new home. That's $600. Could be a brand new, TVs are pretty cheap anymore. That could be a new 60, 70-inch TV, right? Think of it like that. That's how money should work. Buy this, what can I do with it, okay? So until April 30th, and might get extended, all right? Free appraisals. The only other thing sometimes you need up front when you buy a home is inspection. Now, that has nothing to do with the appraisal, okay? That is an inspection for you, right, to see what's going on with the house. And always rip it apart to see what could be wrong with it, all right? Things you may have to fix so you're prepared, all right? But earnest money deposit, appraisals, and inspections, they could be depending, let's say $500 to $1,000 inspections, or maybe even less, all depending, right? If you get radon and all this stuff. So those are the three things that you usually need money for up front before you get to the end, the finish line. But until April 30th, free appraisals. Later. Hussbus bus stop.